Thanks for joining us on this Monday edition of FSU Weather on here this March 16th. I'm Casey Cloud.
And I'm Donovan Wiseman. Casey, hope you had a great spring break. I know it's been a week since we've been here on air in Tallahassee, but I understand the weather was nice here over spring break.
Yeah, it was. A few scattered showers early on, but relatively nice conditions, warmer temperatures being seen around this area for sure.
That's right, and there were, like you said, a few showers last week, but overall, if you were in Tallahassee, it wasn't anything bad. You probably had a good spring break. Polar opposite from us is up in the Northeast, just where they've been getting hit all year, it seems like, and they actually set a record. Was it Sunday?
That's right. We're talking about 2.9 inches of snow at the Logan International Airport, and this has gotten them up to the snowfall record and broke that to 108.6 inches.
That's right. It's about 9 feet, they're saying, and people up there, they're now just being sarcastic about it. They were talking about going to Disney World after setting the record, and we were saying after that Super Bowl victory, you know, at least they had a parade earlier this year. Spirits were kept high, but man, and they might even get even more later this week too.
Yeah, another system going to be moving through there, and that could cause some more even added on to this record. It set the record by an inch of snowfall yesterday. It was 107.6 inches, but just a interesting situation up there for sure.
Absolutely, just 1 inch above the record. 107 was a lot. 108, I can't even imagine. But again, it's just been pretty much the exact opposite down here, and you're going to take us around what's been going on, isn't that right?
Yeah, we'll be talking about the local forecast. You're kind of giving an overview of the show, in fact. And as we do so, we will see the weather situation here on this Monday. We have a clear and warm day ahead of us. Well, we did see a clear and warm day, in fact, here across our area. And that's going to kind of continue here, that trend, as we get into toward Tuesday and Wednesday, but some rain will return as we get in toward later in the week, and we could even have a slight cool down as we get in toward your weekend, so that's something to keep an eye on. It was very warm and humid today, though, especially in our southern areas. The humidity was a factor. 86 at the Tallahassee Regional Report. The low temperature sitting at 51 degrees this morning, but again, only 1 degree off the record high. That's the big takeaway from this. You can see clear over the state and toward north and central Florida. A few showers down toward the southern part of the state, but relatively nice weather conditions. Now tonight we will be seeing 57 degrees here, a perfect night for star gazing. Clear and dry night ahead of us here in the viewing circle as we get in toward your Tuesday.
Casey, that's just pretty much perfect weather in my opinion. I think everyone here knows I like the warmer temperatures. It still feels like spring break around here. About this time, actually on this day in 1995 though, not so great weather. We had some pretty bad hailstorms that day.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about 0.75 inches, 3/4 of an inch of hail up toward almost 2 inches reported in several parts of the region. In fact, in Bainbridge, they reported golf ball size hail in that area.
That's right, and that just does terrible damage. It can do damage to your home, definitely to your vehicles if they're outside. So we're happy that we're just seeing a lot of sunshine, not a lot of cloud coverage out today as I was walking on campus. It's just been absolutely beautiful here.
Yeah, great weather day across our area. On that day, though, there was also a cool front that caused some serious conditions, including a tornado in Port St. Joe. But right now, to take a look at our first local forecast, we'll send it to Paxton.
Thank you, guys. Currently, right now in Tallahassee, it is 86 degrees. It's clear, it's sunny. It's been like that all day long today. You could definitely feel the difference in temperatures. And it's perfect, especially since we had spring break last week. And we're probably still in that little spring break grind right now. We're not feeling the school or anything. So this 86 degrees is quite nice for us. Dew points are mild, 46. And we do have low humidity values right now as well, which is great because usually when it's hot, we have the sticky air around us, but 25% is not too shabby. Like I was saying, it is 86 degrees in Tallahassee. It's in the mid to upper 80s around the Big Bend region, 74 in Carabel, and 77 in Apalachicola. So they're the cool spots and a little milder than what we are experiencing right now. And that is due to them being along the coast and they are having the wind blowing inwards, cooling them down where we are landlocked in our area. Again, looking at the Big Bend region, there's absolutely nothing on the radar. It's absolutely clear, sunny, no clouds in sight. And if you're outside today, you could definitely see that. And it's going to continue tomorrow as well. And then looking at our futurecast, we have this high pressure system situated over Louisiana and Arkansas and just a little west of Mississippi, but it's going to be pushing on into our area. And right now we're kind of thinking, is this a springtime sizzle? It's not. It's just the effects of this high pressure system with a low pressure system and front coming through tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, bringing in some more rain chances into our area coming Thursday morning. But up until then, it's not too bad outside. It's going to be nice and sunny. And that cold front's just bringing in just about 4 or 5 degree temperature drop, nothing too much. For tonight, it's going to be 57 degrees. It's going to be a perfect night for stargazing because there are no clouds, and it's going to be nice and clear. So if you like stars, if you like astronomy or something like that, it's going to be perfect for you to go outside tonight and even tomorrow night as well. And then for tomorrow, it's going to be another hot day, 87, and it's going to be sunny yet again, no clouds, no rain, just very similar to what it was today. So another great spring break-like day. Not good if you have school because you're just going to want to go relax by the pool. And the winds are a little calm, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Nothing too much to worry about. And then as we look into the 7-day, we have 87 tomorrow, 82 Wednesday. As we go into Thursday and Friday, the chance for showers increase 30% and 50%. And then Saturday, 77, 68 on Sunday. And it begins to cool down going into the weekend as we have a few more fronts coming through into our area, bringing in a little bit of clouds. They're mostly dry fronts, not too much rain associated with them, except for the ones on Thursday and Friday. But for right now, we're going to hand this on over to Donovan for more on the southeast.
All right, thanks, Paxton. Thanks for that good news about what's going on here in Tallahassee. No secret that I like this warm weather. I'm loving it today and this week. It's going to be beautiful. Now, a little bit of bad news in the southeast area. Over here, more over towards Kansas and Oklahoma, they're right now pretty prone to some fires right now. If a wildfire were to spread, they are prone to that right now. So they're under watch for that. And, of course, along this area, along the Mississippi River, those are areas that are prone to flooding as of right now. But, again, over towards Tallahassee and into Georgia, our viewing area, our home, we're staying pretty good, staying safe. And nothing but sunshine out there. You see that right here next to Tallahassee. 86 degrees outside. It feels beautiful. Feels like summertime to me. Then going down into Florida, 84 in Orlando, 80 in Miami, and then across here in Georgia into Alabama, we're seeing 80s as well. Everyone loving it today. Got the tops down if you got that convertible. It's just a beautiful day. And for 24-hour temperature change now, this is something I also love. 7 degrees higher here in Tallahassee today. Just gorgeous. I love seeing these plus numbers, +5 in Atlanta. And then we're going to take it into the satellite and radar, and nothing, not even a lot of clouds today. If you're outside, you notice that. Just a beautiful day, blue skies and sunshine. I love it. Feels great. Tonight here across the southeast, we're seeing 55 again in Tallahassee. Pretty comfortable night. Again, it's going to be a clear night if you want to go out and stargaze. It's the night to do that for sure. 65 in Orlando and 70 in Miami. A little further north of here where they've been seeing some cold weather, Atlanta's going to stay around 57 degrees tonight. I'm sure everyone's going to be out up there enjoying this weather just as we are down here. For tomorrow, 87 in Tallahassee, 87 in Orlando as well, 85 in Miami, and again, just across the southeast, beautiful weather, maybe a few clouds over Atlanta and Tupelo as that front starts to make its way down into our area and some showers in front of that. For tomorrow night, 60 here in Tallahassee. This news just gets better and better. 65 in Orlando, 66 in Miami, and again, up in the 50s across Alabama, Georgia, and through the Carolinas as well into Mississippi. So really can't go wrong here in the southeast. It's just been really gorgeous just taking a look at that. But Casey, something that you were talking about earlier is the fact that we haven't seen a lot of tornadoes, and in that area of Louisiana and Arkansas right there, they're pretty prone to that, and across Alabama as well. But this year, not been a very active tornado season.
Yeah, really good news in toward those areas. We're talking about War Middle Springs on January 24th. That was one of the 3 tornado warnings issued. That was down toward and around Port St. Joe, Central City, in fact.
That's right, and that wasn't too long ago in February where we saw it in Port St. Joe, Central City, and Dalkeith. But, you know, it's just really been very unactive. The most recent was over in Louisiana, around Cutoff, Louisiana, and Galliano. And, Casey, maybe what do you think is causing the lack of tornadoes? Because it seems like this time of year, I remember just a few years ago when the one came through Tuscaloosa. About this time of year, I wonder why we're not seeing a lot of tornadoes.
Well, the atmospheric conditions just haven't came together for it. Getting the combination of moisture, also instability, and other factors, including shear, just a combination of those have not come together, and that's really good news.
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting to notice that we haven't seen the tornadoes, but it's not necessarily bad news that the tornadoes aren't out there, and we're just going to keep hoping for the best as far as this year goes. And for now, we're going to talk about a national look with Jay.
Thank you, Donovan. Another lovely day all across nationally. You're seeing a lot more upper weather, except for Billings. They're seeing a nice little cold front of 35 for their weather, so it's kind of a little more downside for Billings, but everywhere else it's quite magnificent for all the summertime weather. We're getting to more springtime fever for all the sunny temperatures. We see with our highs today, you're seeing 82 in Atlanta, 86 in Tallahassee, 81 New Orleans, just a bunch of 80s in the southeast. Going over to the deep south, 77 in Dallas, 71 in San Antonio, just quite a warm one all across the south. The north, they're seeing upper 50s for right now, but with 24-hour temperature change, they're seeing a little more of a high-low difference for the south and north. The north, so Minneapolis and Billings, they're seeing a negative 27 and 21 hour temperature change versus the south, where you're seeing a lot more higher temperatures going up into the 70s, into the 80s for the first time in a long time. So I know everyone's looking forward to that for the south, because we're tired of all that cold weather for the south. Radar, I'm going to take a little more look later on in Minneapolis and Billings for all the cold weather, which is why they see a lot more colder temperatures. For the south, you're seeing a lot more sunnier skies, not too many clouds, just a little passing by here and there. But like I said before, let me take a little more zoomed in look on the northwest. You're seeing with Montana and Idaho a lot more weather coming into the picture, as well as North South Dakota. You're seeing a couple of rain showers here and there. But when we take it over to the south, you're seeing a lot more sunnier skies. You're seeing a couple of passing showers here and there in Miami as well as Houston, but nothing less. It's been absolutely gorgeous for the south, and it's going to stay like that for the next couple of days. We're going to see more rain chances going up in Thursday and Friday, but we'll get a little more look on that in national in the local too with Casey in just a bit. Airport delays, you're seeing no airport delays, just goose eggs all across the nation, so no travel delays at all, so quite a perfect one for traveling after all the spring break. I know some schools are still traveling later on into this week and next week. Tonight's forecast, a lot more cooler skies coming up in this picture for the night. 55 in Tallahassee, 57 in Atlanta, 64 in New Orleans, just quite a cold one. Not cold, but more so breezy going across the south. But when you go into tomorrow, another hot one for the south. 80 in New Orleans, 87 in Tallahassee, 76 in Atlanta. Going to the north, there are seeing a lot more ties in the 50s and 40s. I see with Kansas City at 58 degrees. Minneapolis at 46. It's going to be quite a rainy one for Billings at 51 and Seattle at 55. But again, with nationally, it's going to be a tale of two cities, north being the more colder one, and the south, because being the south, it's going to be not more warmer. You're going to see a couple of spotty showers here and there in Dallas and San Antonio as well. So again, with sunny skies means a lot more weather coming to the picture later on into the week. But for more look at what's happening around Tallahassee, let's take it over now to Casey about what's happening with all the sunny weather in Tallahassee.
Thanks so much, Jay. As we see in our local forecast here, we take a look at those weather headlines. It was a clear and warm day across our area on this Monday. Really nice conditions. But again, we'll be tracking and talking about that rain returning in that forecast time for Thursday here in just a couple minutes, and some cooler conditions as well ahead. Now 86 in our area, the metro, at this hour, a warm and moist day across our area, especially southern areas. Those humidity values really getting up there. A little cooler down toward Carabel, 74 there, 77 in Apalachicola. But again, pretty warm conditions. It almost feels like summer across our area here, early summer here in toward as we approach the end of winter and getting in toward spring. Now, your water vapor imagery does tell the story here. There is some moisture in toward the upper levels of the atmosphere earlier in this, but now we see in the darker colors that we're getting in towards some of these yellowish colors, this orange color. The moisture really has gone away, and that's making for those humidity values to start dropping, so it won't feel quite as moist and sticky as it has been across our area over the last several days. Now, high pressure we see in toward Arkansas. That's kind of really driving our weather and making for the nice conditions really great here across our area. As we get later into toward Tuesday, high pressure moving toward the Gulf of Mexico. Nice weather conditions in control here across our area, making for just a great day. A little on the warm side, though, almost approaching 90 in some areas We do have a cool front, though, that will kind of make for a little bit cooler conditions across the area as we get later in toward your Wednesday, but it won't have too much of an impact on our forecast. Not too much moisture associated with this across our area. So that's the good news, but we are watching this low pressure area out toward our west. Some moisture in Texas. They're going to get some significant rainfall, but again here, nice and clear. Now, toward that beach forecast on your Tuesday, we will see the winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. You surf 2 feet or less, not too big of a factor. So not really that good of a day to go surfing, but your UV index is an H, so make sure you bring that sunscreen. If you do that, maybe going from a local area high school on your spring break down toward some of our beach areas could be a little bit on the side where you need some sunscreen. Tonight, 57 degrees, so it's a nice night for stargazing, clear conditions, nice weather across your area. A cool down, just great conditions tonight, but it will be a touch on the warm side as we get in toward your Tuesday. 87 degrees Tallahassee, near 90 in Caribou, 89 there. 89 is Thomasville as well. It really tells the story here. Might have our first 90-degree day of the year as we get in toward your Tuesday and towards some of these areas. Now your 7-day forecast, 87 degrees. On your Tuesday, you can see, though, the temperatures will get a little bit cooler as we get later into the week and your weekend, getting maybe even a little bit below average this time we get into towards Sunday with only a high of 68. But right now, we'll go ahead and take it over to our desk with Daniel and Jay.
Thank you so much, Casey. Well, he was talking all about the nice warm weather coming in. And I got to tell you, I love this. Where else in the country is experiencing this type of weather?
Basically in the west, you're seeing temperatures 15 and 25 degrees above average. And for the south, not so much. You're seeing 15 to 35 degrees below average.
Wow, so that's a little bit above us, because I know we were both in Atlanta last week for spring break. And it was a lot colder. We didn't really see the sun too much. And it's getting real cold up there for this week because they do have that low pressure system. You do see that front coming on down. That's what's bringing them those temperatures. But it's not going to get here and be that severe for us.
No, not indeed. When the cold front coming in, you're seeing a 45-degree temperature drop. That's about it. For the most part, you're going to see a lot more sky showers in the picture. But sunnier sky is going to be the main topic for the next couple of days. So I know everyone's looking forward to that for this week coming back from spring break. But for now, let's take it over to Mr. Donovan with our Around Florida.
All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, let's go around Florida, talk about the Sunshine State, and that's really all it's been all day today. Definitely living up to its name. Let's keep it here in Tallahassee, 86 currently. Jacksonville seeing nice weather as well, 80. 84 Orlando, and then down here in the southern part of the state, they're seeing some pretty nice temperatures, pretty comfortable out there. It's 80 in Miami, 79 in West Palm. Those areas where those cruise ships are leaving. People down there on spring break right now are loving that weather. Now, let's go back over that 24-hour temperature change. And you guys know that I love seeing these plus numbers over our area. We went up 7 degrees here in Tallahassee. Jacksonville went up 2 degrees. Orlando actually dropped a little bit, but you know what? They're staying comfortable, and that's the same story down here in southern Florida. They dropped a little, but they're still seeing a lot of sunshine, a lot of blue skies. It's just been a gorgeous day across the state of Florida. Now, here's our satellite and radar. The only little bit of disturbance we might see is as that cold front moves in, and we have this high-pressure system dominating, giving us all of these warm temperatures today and into the next couple of days. But in a few days, as that cold front moves in, this area over here, the big thicket part of East Texas, they might see some showers, as we might as well, but our chances aren't too high. Definitely in Texas, though, they might see some, and we'll bring it into our area. Just for today, though, absolutely nothing. Not even a lot of cloud coverage over. It's just been a gorgeous day. Not too bad out there. Nothing too uncomfortable in my opinion. And for tonight, we're not going to see any uncomfortable temperatures then either. 55 here in Tallahassee, 53 in Jacksonville. And then as we move farther down in the state, we got Orlando seeing around 65, 64 in Tampa, and then upper 60s in the South Florida area. So people down there, again, it is spring break for some schools. We just got off ours. I went down and visited South Florida down here around Fort Lauderdale. It was absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful weather for spring break. And you know what? In Tallahassee, we've seen it too. Even last week, if you're here over spring break, you didn't have a bad time. For tomorrow, 87 degrees in Tallahassee. Love that. 85 in Jacksonville, 87 in Orlando. And you know what? You just notice all these suns across Florida. Our area, we might see a couple of clouds tomorrow, but that's nothing we can't handle. After a beautiful day like today, we can handle a couple of clouds tomorrow. But you just see a bunch of sunshine across the Sunshine State. It's absolutely gorgeous right now. We're loving seeing that. Tomorrow night's forecast, 60 here in Tallahassee. That's probably another good night to be outside if you have any plans It's a good night to be out, very comfortable. Don't have to dress up in layers for tomorrow night, and that's something we haven't seen in quite a while. Not really any long sleeve shirts, coats, anything like that. And then it's the same story across as you get further south. 65 in Orlando, 65 in Tampa. They're matching each other. 66 West Palm, and the same in Miami. Just a gorgeous night. I would definitely make some plans tomorrow to be outside. It's a lot of good things going on, but in some areas of the country, we're not seeing a lot of good weather, and Paxton is going to talk about our winter weather.
Unlike us, a couple other states are experiencing a little bit of snow, but otherwise it's just rain out there. Not much snow going on except for a little hit and miss spots. But if you look at the national, across the whole entire United States, we have clouds everywhere, spanning everywhere, except in Florida. We have this nice little sun in Tallahassee, just like what Donovan was saying earlier, that Sunshine State is being the Sunshine State for once. And as we look for satellite and radar, we have that area of high pressure in the Texas area stretching on into Florida. You can see that because it's nice and clear, and also the clockwise rotation of these clouds in that area as well. And then we do have a little bit of rain in the Michigan area, in Wisconsin, and we have a little bit of sleet and snow as well. But as it progresses more southward, it turns into rain because the temperatures are a lot warmer than what they have been. So most of the snow is hopefully done for the rest of the season. And like I was saying, we do have a little bit of snow, hit and miss areas, but as we move on in time and also as we go more south, the snow just dissipates, turns into sleet for a little bit, and then goes into rain, going on over into the east. So not much to worry about snow-wise. And then as we go off the east coast, we do have this nice little low pressure that did just scooch on by. It did have a little snow remains, but again, those are being pulled offshore, nothing to worry about for the New England area, which is nice for them since they have been experiencing so much snow throughout this whole season. For the 24-hour temperature change, we have plus amounts on the eastern seaboard, and basically we have pluses all around the United States except for Minneapolis, which did take a dip of 21 degrees. Billings took a dip of 27 degrees, Salt Lake of about 1 degree, but otherwise it is warm across the whole nation. We are very happy with these temperatures. I'm done with the cold. I'm sure a lot of you are done with the cold as well. And as we look at the wind chill, it's not very much of a chill at all. It's kind of more of a relief for some areas. In Miami, we have 80 degrees, so that's kind of mild. It's not very chilly at all. And then we have some mid-70s in Dallas, 68 in San Antonio. So again, this wind chill is not chilly at all. It's just a little bit of relief from the sun, which has been peeking its way out a lot more than what has been recently. For today's high temps, again, it is very mild out there, 86 in Tallahassee. Even in the coldest areas, or the most temperature change, 62 in Minneapolis and 53 in Billings. That is still very mild. So these high temperatures are climbing back up there. And what Donovan was saying earlier, it is feeling more like summer in our area and also across the United States. And then again, going into tomorrow, we have all this summer-like weather again. 46 in Minneapolis is a little warmer, a little cooler tomorrow as compared to today. But otherwise, we have some suns in that area and a little bit of clouds in the southeast region. But I don't know about you guys over at the desk, but I'm enjoying this weather a lot.
I know I am too, Paxton. It's quite a peachy weather for today. But you know what's also peachy?
What's that?
Puppies.
Oh yeah, puppies. Whenever I think of warm weather, the first thing I think about is puppies.
Yeah. We actually have a story for you for the first time ever. A Venn dog used his bark to alert a passerby to tensing puppies and his exhausted mother. Because of that, they got treated health, so all the sick puppies and the mother is back up to full health, and the dog got the Medal of Honor.
Wow, that's fantastic. We hear a lot of stories about dogs doing this. We realize that they're smarter than we give them credit for if they can tell people that, hey, come save these puppies over here.
Especially when it comes to puppies, because I know we all love puppies in the studio. No one's allergic to them at all. So I'm like, puppies? Yes, we have to talk about this. It is a must. It's about puppies. Mm-hmm. It's a good story. It has a great, good ending, so we have to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you were saying before, nothing's better than puppies. But for now, we're going to see what's going on with our puppies back here at home. You can see today's almanac. We got up to 86 degrees. Very nice. As you've heard all show, it's just been absolutely wonderful. 86 degrees. And even better tomorrow, we're going to see the high of 87. Not a whole lot of change. See, today the low is going to be about 51. So that's starting to come back up also. Starting to get out of those 40s, which will be really nice for us. well, around our area, see 80s pretty much everywhere. Nothing's really getting cold. You know, Jay and I were talking about earlier about how some of the areas on the East Coast are a little bit colder, even though you saw on those temperatures around the area that they were coming up a little bit. They still are pretty cold for them. But for us here, we're doing absolutely fantastic. Local radar, still just sunshine. You don't see anything at all covering our area. So we're going to go ahead and look at what else is going on. You do see some clouds going over in through Louisiana and through Arkansas there. And there's a tiny little bit of rain over there by Fort Corpus Christi. That's really about it. Other than that, we're looking great for now. No problems at all. And this is because of the water vapor. You do see all this dry air over us, not giving us any problems at all. If you look over to our east, you do see that there is a little bit cooler air there by Savannah. That could bring up a storm, but mostly just more clouds for them. And as you get into a future cast, what's causing all this is that high pressure system that's situated over Arkansas and in the southeast. And as I step out of the way, you'll see what's going to happen. You do see is springtime coming? Well, yes, it's absolutely here. And this is going to go ahead and move on down. This low pressure system is going to go ahead and push it down into the Gulf. And then when you see this front move on through, it will cause some rain over in Austin and Dallas and down into San Antonio potentially there for them. Not a whole lot of rain chances for us. You do see we'll get some cloud cover on Wednesday. You do see some storms starting to move in also. Tonight's forecast, we're at that low of 57. As Nikki, our team leader, pointed out, it's perfect night for stargazing. You do see full moon right there. Absolutely awesome. Not a whole lot of clouds there either. And so we're going to go ahead and jump into tomorrow's forecast. Again, sunny conditions, not a whole lot of change from yesterday to today. You do see wind is 5 to 10, but still 87, 88, 89, even up closer into Georgia. It's really nice. Even though it's still getting kind of hot, it's still much better than what we've seen over the past few days. Lastly, we're getting to our 7-day forecast. You see tomorrow, 87. Wednesday dipping down just a little bit into 82. Thursday and Friday is when that front might come through and bring us some rain potentially. You see mostly Friday cloudy, but thankfully it's not going to screw with our temperatures too much. You see on Saturday and Sunday and the weekend, still in the 70s and maybe dumping down into the 60s on Sunday. And Monday, maybe some more clouds than we typically see. And the lows are still not dipping down in the 40s like we have seen at all, Jay. You know that?
Yes, indeed. I know with the spring, it's like we had spring come forward, so with the hours, so must as well just sprung right into sunny weather. So I'm looking forward to it the rest of the week.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been real nice. And I know you played tennis, so that was a really great time for you to go out and play since it's been so cold and miserable.
Finally, I know. I'm looking forward to all the summertime, springtime weather. Getting closer to summer, and so all the sunny weather is going to be great. And also for sports as well. We have a lot of outdoor activities for sports coming up later on in the week.
Yeah, I know meteorology. We put together a dodgeball team that we're actually going to be using. And so we're going to see how this is going to go. But take a look at our 7-day forecast. We're going to have 87, like I said earlier. We do have some chance of rain on Thursday and Friday.
But when we go past Friday, we see 70s for Saturday, 68 on Sunday. But going back into Monday, sun is back in the picture with 70s. Looking forward to it. Rest of the week going to look quite fabulous for all the sun.
Well, make sure you like us on Facebook.
And follow us on twitter.com, and also watch our sunny and smiling faces on livestream.com/FSU Weather.
That's right. You can find all of our shows. You can even go and watch the ones before spring break on livestream.com.
Yes, we're also on Instagram now too, so you can see our faces anytime you really want to.
Yeah, so I mean that's real awesome. But for now, I'm Daniel McFarland.
And I'm sitting around with Jay Kimball. Have a great night, Tallahassee, and make sure you catch some sun all day long and all into next week because